Sandro Tonali is back for Newcastle United. Finally, the first time since that gambling ban last season, he has been allowed to play for this football club. He and the rest of the Newcastle squad travelled down to Burnley's training complex and they have played a match behind closed doors where Tonali was allowed to play in that game. Now, it's a strange one, his technicalities, because even though he is still banned now, he is allowed to play this match. But he wasn't allowed to play behind closed doors in Germany when we were at Adidas's HQ. So I don't know why he wasn't allowed to play in that game. He's allowed to play in this one. I'm not sure on the wording and the reasonings of certain rules, but he has been allowed to play. He has participated in a game for Newcastle United today down at Burnley. I'm buzzing to say that is the most important part from this entire pre-season tour so far, is to make sure he can get some game time, so when he is back after his ban, he can get going straight away. And in my personal opinion, my personal prediction is, I think he'll be a key player for us next season. As Eddie Howe has stated, it will feel like a brand new sign. And speaking of Eddie Howe, he's actually came out in the media and spoken about Tonali, saying that the fact that his ban is almost up, he's almost been rejuvenated, he's got that second wind, he's trying harder in training, he's exercising is much better. You can just tell that he's excited to get back, and it's giving him that real momentum where he is performing much better behind the scenes because he now knows that he can finally play. Whereas when he first would have got that gambling ban, he would have been depressed. He would have had quite a lot going on mentally at the time with his addiction. So the kind of seeing him get past all of that and now be ready to play again is huge for us. Our £55 million signing from last summer, as I said before, will feel like a brand new signing. It'll be huge in that midfield. And as I said before, I think it'll be key for us next season. So that is the first thing I'd like to say before I get into anything. I believe it is a huge deal that Tonali has played today, and I'm looking forward to seeing when he plays next, because he's not allowed to play at home, he's not allowed to play in Japan next week, but he is still allowed to play behind closed doors. And the belief is that Newcastle has got at least one more against Leeds, and I think we'll have Gates at as well, or somebody at our Benton training ground. So there'll be someone travelling to our training ground. There'll probably be a match there as well, I would have thought. So in terms of everything else, let's get into it straight away. So Newcastle United has actually released a brand new app. For you guys watching now, there it is, an app. So on your phones, on your laptops, whatever it may be, you can go on there and you can get all the Newcastle United details on it. The club has said there will be exclusive content on the app, so I'm assuming you can't see it on the website, but you can see it on the app. So there'll be interviews with Newcastle players, women's players. It'll just be a chance where you can get everything Newcastle United related all in one place. And what some other teams in the Premier League have done is they actually access these season tickets directly on the app. Now, for me, for example, when I go to St James's Park, I always use Apple Wallet. So straight away it's on there, especially with the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi is terrible at the stadium, so I never ever do anything Wi-Fi related. It's always just saved on my phone, use it straight away. That's easy enough for me, but I can understand for some old people, especially let's say an older Newcastle fan who might not know how the Apple Wallet works. Something like the app is there for you if you need it. I would assume you can probably use your season ticket on there, but if not, exclusive content on there, fan events potentially on there. If you paid the extra £10 if you're a season ticket holder to get the Members Plus, or you paid the £45 if you are not a season ticket holder to get the Members Plus, again, there will be exclusive content for you on there. I'll imagine matches in Japan, for example, you can watch them if the app comes out in time on there. And it's just a real experience for Newcastle fans, just to use something much easier. I'm not the biggest fan of the website. I'm glad it's been changed over the period of the summer, but I'm still not a massive fan of it. So I'm hoping the app is a good job, and I'm hoping that you get what you want in it. It's going to be important, it's going to be nice and easy. Hopefully for me to go on and buy away tickets, for example, just something easy for us, don't have to worry about it, just go on there and get some tickets straight away. But in terms of our stuff, so the women's fixtures actually came out yesterday, so we'll be playing Durham at home and Sunderland away, back-to-back derbies during international break, and Sunderland away as well as expected to be at the Stadium of Light. So straight away, for you guys, if you're not doing anything during the international break, there's a match at the Stadium of Light where you can watch Newcastle United play. So for me, I'm definitely going back there. I had my buzz last season. I loved being there, and I think it'll be great again. So it'd be an actual chance for us to potentially show them up. I actually reckon we can probably take more fans to the Stadium of Light than Sunderland. Imagine that, by the way, more black and white inside their own stadium. Wow, I think that would be a real impact that we can make and properly stick it to them. So I'm hoping we can potentially get something like that going, because our fan base, especially in the women's game, is massive. So potential possibility for a major upset there. Can we actually get more fans in than Sunderland? I like to think we can. But staying on topic of Tonali and going back to the main point of this video, the belief in terms of scoreline is that Newcastle has lost 1-0. That's not official. That is just what some Burnley fan pages have been putting out there. And there's just a lot of murmurings where people are almost just guessing the scoreline. They don't know what it is. And it's actually possible that you might not find out what the scoreline is. Because again, with the fact that Tonali has played, and as I mentioned, the last pre-season match, that would be behind closed doors. He wasn't allowed to play that game. Maybe one of the reasons was because you're not allowed to disclose the scoreline, or maybe you're not allowed to show highlights on YouTube, or something like that, where it's just a random rule like that, where Newcastle and Burnley have had to basically accommodate it and just not show anything because of the Tonali ban. Maybe that's some logic or truth to it, I don't know. But once again, potential possibility is we might not actually find out the scoreline. But if we do, it will be in the title one thumbnail of my video, even though I might not be saying it out loud. If it's there, that's what the score was. But if it's not, then we don't get taught. But the belief is that Newcastle has lost 1-0. I wouldn't say I'm glad to see that scoreline, because obviously we don't want to lose any games. But I've seen some rumours on social media it was actually potentially as bad as 9-1 Burnley. I was like, surely that's not possible. But that was something that was being spread amongst Newcastle fans for some reason. But for me, it's just about getting the minutes in. It's a pre-season match. It's not going to change. I remember we played Burnley 2 years ago, maybe 2-3 seasons ago in a pre-season game. We lost, I think it was over in Portugal. We might have lost the one during lockdown season, there might have been. Again, it doesn't matter that much. It's just about getting minutes in. I care about the results in the Premier League this season and the domestic competitions. We losing a pre-season match is not going to change that. So for me, I don't mind what it is. If it was a 9-1 though, I would definitely have a different opinion on that. But if it's just a 1-0 lost, then you know what, it is what it is. It doesn't concern me. But what does concern me is injuries now. Elliot Anderson played a pre-season match yesterday for Nottingham Forest. Straight away, would you believe the luck he got injured? So we've actually dodged a massive bullet with that one. The fact that he's been injured for Nottingham Forest, I wouldn't wish that on anyone, but the fact that he doesn't play for us anymore makes it feel a bit sweeter. But again, that's more the concern to playing these pre-season matches. Imagine that was us, imagine that was Bruno Isak and he's out for multiple months, I would be fuming. So I can understand Nottingham Forest fans having a lot of anger towards that. Fully understand that. All I'm saying is, I'm glad it's not us. But speaking of the players we have saw, Yankuba Minteh, my word, I watched his goal yesterday for Brighton in Japan. Straight away, I'm having buyer's remorse. We saw this guy to Brighton and he scored an absolute banger on his first game. So I'm gutted about that one. He was a really good goal. I know it was against Japanese opposition, and Newcastle will see themselves next week that it's not going to be a real tester for what we can expect in the Premier League. But he looks good. He does look like a good player, and he's someone that, especially with Brighton's track record in terms of youngsters, he's someone I'm expecting to light the world on fire. So to see him do so well for Brighton is definitely a tough pill to swallow, but it's what's happened. That's what's happened for PSR sales. If Almiron was sold in January, as we had the chance to do so, the player said no. That would have been different. That was the only sale we needed for PSR. It didn't happen. Newcastle had to rush and get 2 players out the door, which we didn't want to do. But the reality is, it's happened now. Minteh's gone, Anderson's gone, and we have to accept that, and we have to move on with the times. And now it is around that time we start to bring players in. Hasn't quite happened yet. I believe over the next couple of days we'll see a lot more information. I've seen bits and bobs come out lately, but there's nothing conclusive enough for me to come out and make a video and say this has happened, that's happened, because I just haven't seen the evidence really from credible journalists to suggest that. But Newcastle, I'm expecting to sign some marquee players. I would have thought for the Japan trip. Again, that's in a few days' time. And speaking of the Japan trip, I mentioned it in my last video, but I'll mention it again here. I'll be there. I'm heading across straight after the whole game. I want to say for any of you guys watching, if you are travelling across to Japan to watch the games, make sure to contact me, make sure to send me a message. Any fan-led events, any club events, I will make you all aware of them. We want to make sure every single Newcastle fan going over there will have a good time. Make sure that they have somebody to talk to. So you're not lonely and you're not just a random country where you don't understand what's going on. Make sure every single Newcastle fans enjoy themselves out there and want a good experience where thousands of fans are getting together to show that real commercial gain that we have in terms of overseas fans, and just seeing where Newcastle United are in terms of not only a brand but also as a product, to see where we are worldwide, just to get loads of fans together and have a fantastic time. But that's about it in terms of this video. A bit of a roundup there. Tonali is back, is the key topic to take away from it. Good news regardless of what the score is. It is great to see him back. It is great for him to be back, and that's going to be massive for us going into this season. I think he will be a key player for us next year, and I'm hoping fingers crossed. I am hoping he is a standout star for us. I would love to see this guy do well. I really feel like we need to get behind him. I'm expecting him to light the world on fire, but hopefully that happens, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching. A bit of a recap there, a bit of a roundup just to explain everything that's happened. I wish you all the best, take care, and we'll see you all in the next one.